No see all the same thing. Rise Lord that you believe that is just a myth. In the wasteland of an I changed with history. All the living saints who fly to that jubilee. Oh, what singing, oh, what shouting, and we need our blessed Savior in the sky. When with all the heavenly hosts we begin to sing, singing in the Holy Ghost, our hands will ring. Millions land will join that song, with whom we shall be. Praising our tribulations long, heaven still will be. Oh, blood, sing and sing, oh, what shouting, on that happy morning when we all shall rise. Oh, our glory, oh, hallelujah, when we meet our blessed Savior in the sky. When we meet our blessed Savior in the sky. Amazing grace, how sweet the wretch like me. I once was lost, I was blind, but now I see. The grace that calls my heart to thee, and makes my fears relieve. How precious is that grace of me. The hour I first been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We've no less days to sing God's praise, and when we first begun. Praise God, 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 hallelujah. Praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God, praise Can someone say
I'll be preaching with a bunch of cars, but it's a different time we're living in. God has got a plan in action. God is not shocked or surprised by the events of the last couple months. He wasn't shocked when it started in China. God knew all about it. God had a plan. Amen. A lot of people are really, I don't know, out of sorts over all of this. And a lot of people are operating, even Christians are operating in fear. The Bible says perfect love casts away all fear. Amen. I ain't got to be afraid. Amen. I know God is in control. I know God is at the wheel. And I think this is the time that our faith has to stand out like never before. You got to use wisdom, and that being said, you got to also use wisdom. But God wants our faith to grow right now like it never has before. Amen. God has a plan. Let us pray. God, I thank you and I praise you for another day of life. I thank you, God, for your many blessings, for saving our unworthy souls, for loving us when we have been unlovable. God, I thank you, Jesus, for dying for us on the cross of Calvary. Father God, for you giving your Son to die. And thank you, Lord, that in the book of John 14, you said that you would send the Comforter unto us, being the Holy Ghost. I thank you for everything you do. I thank you for what you'll do today in every service gathered in every place. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I want to look in the book of Acts for a little bit this morning. Acts chapter number 17 is where we'll be. I trust you have your Bibles with you. You can carry them. Daddy always said that a soldier ain't no good without his gun. Amen. You got to have the Word of God. It is our the gospel gun, as the old preachers would call it. Amen. All right. Let's look in Acts chapter 17, verse number 22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, "You men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are too superstitious." I believe that would preach today. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, "To the unknown God, who therefore ye ignorantly worship, him I declare unto you. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands, neither is he worshipped with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things. He hath made of one blood of all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before, appointed in the bonds of their habitation, that you should seek the Lord, and haply they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being, as certain also of your own poets have said, for we all are also his offspring. We'll stop there for just a minute. Paul is preaching in a hard place. Paul was preaching in a place called Mars Hill in Athens, Greece. And this was a place where there was a lot of false gods. There was so many different religions that nobody knows what to believe. And we said that God cannot be worshipped with your hands. He wasn't speaking about throwing your hands up and praising the Lord. But he was speaking about these people that took gold and silver and all these things and made false gods with their hands. He was speaking about you cannot worship the true God with something you made from your own hands. Amen. Praise the Lord. He said the only way I can be worshipped is from your heart. A lot of people go around and they rub on golden calves and they rub on all these false gods and everything, and that was very prominent in that day. They were worshiping all kinds of false gods. But Paul said you cannot worship the true God out of something you made. In other words, he said, you can't make me with your hands. Amen. I'm the one that made you. Praise the Lord. I'm glad I serve a true God. I'm glad I serve the one that sent his Son Jesus to die on the cross of Calvary, and his blood was shed for the sins and the remission of all of our sins for all men. Amen. Everybody can be saved. Praise the Lord. I'm glad that was made possible by the price that Jesus paid on the cross of Calvary. I think about what verse number 28 was really the text that he put in my spirit. He's speaking to these people. You got to understand, he's speaking to a bunch of heathens, a bunch of people who worship golden calves and worship self-made gods and worship the stars and worship the moon. And he's speaking to a bunch of people that are so confused they don't know what the true God is. So they have many there in Athens, Greece. So Paul is sent to Athens by God to preach the truth. Amen. And Paul was the kind of preacher, he didn't care where he was at. In that day and time, if he'd have been in the bar, he'd have stood up and preached, or he would have preached at Mardi Gras, or he would have preached anywhere, because he knew who God was. He knew who the real God was. He knew who it was that saved his soul and got him ready for heaven. He remembered that day that he was walking down the road and going about to persecute the church and dragging Christians unto courthouses, and they were being thrown into jail, and many would lose their lives. But one day going down the road, the Bible said, as Paul journeyed at this time, his name was Saul, and as he journeyed down the road, the Bible said that a light shone out of heaven, and out of that light there was a voice came out, and Jesus said, "It is me, Saul, that why persecutest thou me? Don't you know that you cannot kick against the pricks?" What did he mean by that? In other words, you kick a porcupine with a bare foot, it's going to hurt you. He said, "Let me tell you, you can't kick against the pricks. You can't kick against what's true." He said, "I am the true God." And the Bible said that Saul was changed, and Saul gave his heart to the Lord that day, and his life was changed forever. The Bible said that at that moment that his eyes, big scales grew across his eyes, and he could not see that somebody had to lead him. But God had a plan for that. God sent him down to a man's house, and that man laid hands on him, and his eyes were opened up. And at that moment, God changed his name from Saul unto Paul. Oh, hallelujah. Don't you know that whenever you got down on your knees and you asked Jesus Christ to save your soul and wash your sins away, that your name was no longer my name is not weakness anymore. It may be in the natural world, but when I give my heart to Jesus Christ, God gave me a brand new name. Whenever the Lord comes back to rapture his church away, I don't know that name yet, but one day you'll call me by name, and I'll know he's talking to you. Oh, I don't know about you. I'm glad I'm saved, and on my way to heaven, I'm glad my sins are washed away. I'll be a good boy to you, my works can't get me there. It's the blood of Jesus Christ that washes away sins. Hallelujah. Well, preacher, you ought to be a good boy. I try, but sometimes I mess up. Can I get a witness? Sometimes I judge people, don't you? Sometimes we opinionate ourselves about things that we know nothing about. But thanks be to God, he overlooks our ignorance and washed away our sin and read our name down in the Lamb's Book of Life. Praise to the Lamb of God. The Bible said it's not by works that you're saved, lest any man should boast. If it was works, then we'd have something to boast about. But the only thing I can boast about was the Savior who died on the cross of Calvary. That's the only thing I can boast about. He paid the price. He paid the debt. He washed away my sin. There's so many people in this world today that are so proud. The Bible says that pride cometh before the fall. Amen. Our clothes don't impress God. Our houses do not impress God. Our cars do not impress God. God ain't impressed by what we drive or what we live in or what brand of clothes that we wear. Amen. I got some that come from the Goodwill and I like them. Amen. God ain't impressed by what you wear. We try to impress people by the way we look and what we possess. But let me tell you, I think the one thing I can possess that I can really brag on, and that is Jesus Christ. Amen. He is everything. The Bible says that every good gift comes from above. I can name some good things in my life, amen. I think the best wife in the world, and I think I got the best children in the world, and I think I got the best grandbaby and babies one of these days. in the world. You say, well, preacher, what? You ought to be saying about your family, amen. You ought to be glad that God gave you what you had. If you've got a good spouse, you ought to praise the Lord. You ought to give Him honor and glory. The Bible says all good gifts come from above. God ordained that those things in our lives are good, and all good things come from above. He was the one that gave us the gift when our children was born. He's the one that allowed us to conceive. He's the one that put you in the path of your significant other, your husband or your wife. He's the one that lined you up and set you up and blessed your life. Amen. Lord, if you better blow your horn, you better blow your horn right now. Amen. Praise the Lord. Amen. Can I get on this? Up in the house of God. Praise the Lord. Woo! Praise the Lord. The Bible says in verse 28, for in Him we live and move and have our being. In Him we live and we move and we have our being. In Jesus Christ we live and we move and we have our being. The kids do a drama there at church, and one of the teenagers, they ain't done it a long time, and he stands behind some of the others, and he's dressed up like Jesus, and as he moves his arm behind him, they move theirs with him. Let me tell you, if you're walking today, if you're breathing today, it's because God blessed you. It's because God gave you another day. If you was able to get out of your bed this morning and walk across your floor, fix you a cup of coffee or eat a biscuit, it was because God chose to wake you up this morning and give you another day of life. If you're saved on your way to heaven, it's because He died on the cross of Calvary and shed His blood that you can go to heaven. It ain't by denomination. It ain't by your family association. It's not by your last name or your first name, but it's by the blood of Jesus Christ. There is no other way except the cross of Calvary. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Woo, the Bible says you're preaching the other gospel, but it's a false God, a false preaching, a false teaching. There's a lot of false teaching going on today. Think about your membership. Think about where you got your name written down on the road book somewhere. We ain't got membership at Turkey Knob. Somebody said, why? I said, because if ain't broke, don't fix it, amen. Your name on a piece of paper don't mean nothing to God, amen. Oh, that might hurt somebody's feelings. God ain't impressed by men's order. He ain't impressed by what's hanging above your door in your church. He ain't impressed by denominational. He ain't impressed by any denomination. He's impressed by people who's got the blood of Jesus applied to their heart. And they accept the one and only true Savior, Jesus Christ. I tell you what, I've heard it said years ago, some old-time preachers have said there would come a day when there would be a move of God, that many great so-called churches would have to shut the door because they allow all kinds of things in the church and in the pulpit, that there would come a day that God would write Ichabod above the door, meaning my spirit has departed. It happened in the Bible. Let me tell you what, it quits being about the resurrected Savior. It quits being about the blood of Jesus Christ and the cross of Calvary. Don't you think today that God will not let Ichabod above the door, meaning my spirit has departed. Preacher, why is all these things coming in to the so-called church? Let me tell you, it's coming in. It's not of God. God ain't in it. God ain't ordained it, and God is not going to bless it. Praise the Lord. Woo! It was said years back that there would be a move among a bunch of people that carried no other name but Jesus Christ. No banner above their door but Jesus Christ. No banner on their driveway, their sign but Jesus Christ. That day's here. The greatest move of God that's taking place in the world today is coming from the undenominational church. Amen. Where people ain't carrying nothing else but Jesus Christ. Don't get me wrong. Daddy always said there's some of God's people in every church. There's good people out there who are Baptists. There's good Christians out there who are Methodists and Pentecostal, you name them all right now. But the ones I know that really love God, they don't fly that banner. They fly the name of Jesus Christ. They're the ones that said in the night, what's the name of the Lord? There's about a man named Jesus Christ that went and died on the cross of Calvary. My Bible tells me that God will not share His glory with nobody. God will not share His glory with Matt Lincolns. And God will not share His glory with any church building or any denomination or a group of people. God will not share His glory with us. His glory is His glory. His name has to be lifted up. It's not about who does the preaching or who does the singing. It's not about none of that. It's about a man called Jesus Christ. There's something that turns involved I'll shout out who it's all about, and they shout back Jesus. Amen. It's all about Jesus Christ. It's about the one who paid the price for me and you that we can go to heaven. I believe that there's a move of God not getting ready to take place. I believe it's taking place right now. I believe whenever this virus started, that God was setting things in order for the last day. I believe things have been set in order for the last day. I believe that Jesus Christ is coming back. That all about what we're dealing with. I'm 62 years old and proud of it, amen. I don't care about gray hair. I don't care less, amen. Can I get a witness? People worry about getting old. I'm 52 years old and I'm blessed on the way to heaven. I've never seen nothing like what we're going through right now. I've never seen this going on before. And most of you that are my age or older, you've never seen nothing like this. Friend, the Bible said the last days would be perilous times. The Bible said that there would be pestilences. That don't mean flies and ticks and all these insects. Pestilence means sickness. Plagues. Friend, we're there. We're there right now. We're in a place right now where people's afraid to get any closer than 6 feet from each other. Don't get me wrong, I respect all the doctors and all those in authority, and that's a good thing. Especially if you can exercise in faith, amen? And I believe if a need arises, and I need to hurt somebody, I believe I can, I believe I'll be all right, amen? Can I get a witness? I believe God puts the hands of protection around the children of God. I don't know about you. I know my power where God encamps about those that love and fear Him. I don't know. I go to work every day. I go to my job and I get my truck. I drive all day long. But I believe that God is keeping me. I believe that God is protecting me. Well, I believe that God is in control. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Thanks be to God. I believe what we're going through now is a test of faith for the real church. See, all the church ain't real. There's a lot of people playing games right now. I believe that God is doing a weeding right now. I got some preacher friends and Christian friends who are afraid that once this is over, that the churches will die out. Let me tell you, the true church can never die out. Woo! Though they take our life, we'll live forever in a place called heaven. I'm not praying, but I'm trusting God. I believe in God. Hallelujah. Because it's in Him that I live, and I move, and I have my being. Hallelujah. Woo! People don't understand why I'm happy. I got reason to be happy. People think I'm up to something. I am. His name is Jesus Christ. You know, he was good. Oh, Brother Graham's on, my father-in-law, most of you knew him. You didn't know him. You knew him from a while when he was growing up. He said, I'm so happy sometimes. I got to sit on my hands and keep from waving at everybody. Amen. Praise the Lord. He said it feels good. It feels better all over than it does anywhere else. Amen. Let me tell you, when you know Jesus and the free pardon of sin, when you know Him, and your past is not your past. You know what? I ain't got a past no more. You know my past has been past and it ain't there no more. Well, preacher, I know what you used to do. I used to drink with you. I used to party with you. Oh, let me tell you, the Bible said in the blood of Jesus, washes away all sin, and all sin shall never be remembered against you no more. I never say all sin. I believe say all sin. But in the eyes of God, my sin has been washed away by the blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, in the eyes of God, I ain't got no past. Hallelujah. Oh, it's too bad. Praise the Lord. I know what I came out of. I know what He saved me from. I know what He saves me from every day. So He means saves me every day. He saves me from myself every day. The expression is the saving of souls. I didn't understand that for years, especially as a young man. Your soul is what God saves. Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. If the devil attacks you, it's through your mind, and through your will, and through your emotions. The devil will show you something in the physical eye, and you'll be tempted. And then your mind will begin to think about it. And if you're not careful, you'll slip into sin. Why? Because your mind, your will, and your emotions is what needs to be saved. I'm glad one day, about 30 years ago, at Greenwood Methodist Church, He saved my soul. He washed away my sins and wrote my name down in the Lamb's Book of Life. I'm trying to be as true and real as anybody. Sometimes my mind wanders. Does yours? Sometimes your mind gets back about the wrong things. We got about 5 honest people here, amen. And sometimes your mind wanders. Does the devil distract you sometimes? And you get to thinking about the wrong things? That's when you got to find you a place. And get on your knees and say, God, the enemy's riding me home. He's getting in my thoughts. He's putting things in my spirit. I'm going to tell you something this morning. I know that there are medical reasons that people can be depressed. But I do also know there's spiritual reasons that people are depressed. If the devil can get you thinking about the wrong thing, if he can get you thinking about poor little me and my situation, next thing you know, you will be depressed. I've been there. I know what it's like. It took Jesus to bring me out of it. Amen. And it tries to come back every once in a while. I'm sure it does for a lot of you that's ever been delivered from it. It tries to come back. But that's when I got to get the Word of God out. Now I got to tell the devil something like this. For in Him we live and we move and we have our being. I can't let situation determine who I am. I can't let a virus determine who I am. Can I give it the Oh! There's so many people that you are letting this virus define you, and you're afraid, and you're scared. Yeah, I got wisdom, but I got God, in whom I believe, and whom I trust. Everything is going to be all right. Picture what if you die from it? Well, what if I do? I got to do something with anything. You want to go? The Bible says the point where every man wants to die. And after that, the judgment. I want to live a long time, and I pray that way. I say, Lord, I want to see my grandbabies grow up. I want to see souls saved. I want to see this new church built and many souls saved. I want to see these things. And I do know that if I die today, if I die before I take my hand off of this Bible, I know that immediately I will be in the presence of God. And you might some of those who believe you got to live, that you got to lay in the grave for 100 years before you go to heaven. Well, you can lay there if you want to, amen. The Bible said to be absent in this body is to be present with the Lord. My old preacher daddy's there right now. My father-in-law's there right now. My mother-in-law and many saints of God that we've buried through the years, they're not in the grave. Their body is, but their souls go on to be with Jesus Christ. Amen. Preacher, you got Bible for that? Yes, I do. Go back and read in the writings of the four Gospels about that whenever the bell of the temple was ringing twain, and during those 3 days, the Bible said Jesus went into the depths of the earth. What is it? He ascended, and then also descended in the depths of the earth, and took the keys of death and hell away from the devil. The Bible said that He led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. What does that mean, preacher? It means that Jesus went into what the Catholic calls purgatory, which is no more. You cannot, I'm sorry, you can't go to paradise and pay for your sin. There's teaching out there, oh, if you die and you've been a bad boy, you can go to paradise and you can pay your sin debt. You can be good for 100 years and slip on it. I got news for you. If you didn't go by the blood of Jesus Christ, you will not make it to heaven. You can't pay for your sins and turn the door to paradise. Amen. If that was the truth, we'd all live a reckless life, wouldn't we? And we'd probably end up in that place called paradise. But the Bible said that Jesus ascended into the depths of the earth, laid captivity and gave gifts unto men. I want you to think about a man who died on the cross at the side of Jesus. He looked over the Lord and said, Lord, would you remember me when you come into your kingdom? And Jesus looked at that old thief, that thug. He said, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. I want you to think about something for just a minute. According to the Word of God, nobody can go to heaven till Jesus first went back. That's why the Bible said he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. I can see it now, Jesus. All people think he laid in the grave for 3 days, but he was busy for 3 days. The Bible said he went into the depths of the earth and took the keys of death and hell away from the devil. I can see it now. I rehearsed it in my spiritual mind. How here's the devil, and he's down there in the inner part of the earth, and he's rejoicing with his demons and saying, boy, we've killed him, and we took him. Oh, somewhere along the 3rd day, I believe I heard something like this. He said, what's that? I hear somebody walking. I mean, it's getting close. I don't know who it is, but somebody's coming. I believe Jesus, like me, he liked to have a good time. I believe every once in a while he'd go like this. He said, somebody, that's what the Bible said, that he ascended and he also descended in the depths of the earth. That means he walked down to the corridors of hell. He walked down and he went right to the gate of hell and looked the devil in the eye and said, give me the keys. The devil said, no keys. He was talking about it. And he said, give me the keys of death, hell, and the grave. And Jesus took the keys of death and he went back into paradise. He unlocked the door and made captivity captive and was given unto men. I feel like I'm like that old thief that died with him on the cross. I want you to think about what he said to the thief. He said, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. Now paradise was the holy place. If you find in the Gospels about a man named Lazarus, a beggar, the Bible said he died in Abraham's bosom. He lifted up his eyes. But the rich man died also. The beggar laid at the rich man's gate every day and begged for scraps. The Bible said his friends was a dog. The friends were his friends were dogs that came to lick his sores. The rich man fared sumptuously every day. The Bible said the rich man in hell, he lifted his eyes. The Bible said that one day they both died. The beggar who looked like he had nothing, and the rich man who had it all. And the Bible said they both died. The Bible said the rich man lifted his eyes up in hell and being tormented by the flames, looked afar off into Abraham's bosom and saw the beggar. And said, Father Abraham, would you send that beggar and let him stick his finger in the water and come and touch the end of my tongue, for I'm tormented in this flame. So I want to understand scripturally from hell, they can see what we call paradise. That was the holy place until Jesus came. I want you to think about this beggar. He walks into paradise, or he doesn't into paradise because he just died on the cross. A few years earlier, John the Baptist had been beheaded, and that's where he ended up, was in paradise. A few years before that, Abraham and all the men of God and women of God through the ages past had been taken to paradise because they couldn't go to heaven until Jesus came back. And John the Baptist walks in, they said, have you seen him? I'm ad-lib, but this is my storytelling. It's my time, and I felt the way I want to tell it. Oh, John, I can see him walking in after they beheaded the preacher. And some of them probably said, Abraham, well, have you seen the Messiah? He said, yeah, I preached with him. We've preached together. We've had church together. We've seen bodies healed. Do you know when he's coming? Well, I'm not really sure. It won't be long. Can't you see when the old beggar goes in there? And see, if you went into paradise, that means you was ready to go to heaven. The old beggar made his way into paradise, because that's where the Bible said he was at, in the bosom of Abraham, which would be paradise. I can see old Abraham and all John and all of them said, well, have you seen the Lord? He said, yeah, I saw him today. He says, well, do you know when he's coming? He said, well, he told me today he would be with me in paradise. You get it, man. Can't you see paradise? Can't you see that place called purgatory and paradise? They're understanding that the man died on the cross beside Jesus, and he's ushered into paradise. Like there are no Lazarus and all of them, and he comes to the Lord, and no doubt somebody said, have you seen the outside? We died on the cross together today, and he told me today that he would be with me in paradise. Thank God about the time that Parkinson and I'll be any longer. A lot of people don't understand that the resurrection of Jesus Christ, that day a lot of graves busted open. It's coming again. It's coming again. The graves will bust open again for the saints of God. What a good place it would be right here when the Lord comes back. Right here in the ballpark. Graves are right behind us. Now, y'all wouldn't be able to see it, but I would. Amen. Amen. And by the time you turn your neck done, we done shut out top of our cars, and I'm at the top of this thing here. We're going to do in glory. What a time it's going to be. If I can say one thing to you, quit being afraid. Quit operating in fear. Your faith is being tested right now, like never before. Believe God. Trust God. Praise the Lord. There's so much fear. I've never seen such fear in people right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not when I'm looking on Lord knowledge and stuff like that. I got a little bit of common horse sense today, we say. I got a little wisdom. I know how to behave, what to do. But don't live in fear. Don't let this be because what you were doing really gets bad. If this has got you so scared you're afraid to get out of your house, what you were doing really gets bad. That was the last days will be perilous times. We ain't seen nothing yet. Your faith right now is being equipped for what's to come. You better let your faith build up right now. You better trust God right now. We're still working on the church. We're still digging dirt. We're still working. We're moving on. Amen. We're trusting God. We're believing God for great things. The Bible tells us that the devil is a liar and a follower of liars. And the devil has spoken to a lot of people's spirit and put fear in them. The devil is also convinced that this will be the downfall of the church. He thinks that this will be a time that he can shut down the church. The Bible says in the book of Genesis, Joseph, speaking about his brothers that tried to kill him, he said, what y'all intended for evil, God meant for good. The devil, I'm telling you, the devil's riding this thing, and he's got all the church operating in fear. Y'all not afraid. Perfect love casts away all fear. So, preacher, ain't your word? No, not really. Why? Because I trust God. The Bible says we have an appointment with death. The Bible says it's appointed unto every man who wants to die, and after this the judgment. You got an appointment. If my appointment ain't during the COVID-19 thing, then I can't die. If my appointment ain't for 10 more years, I can't die till he calls my number. I believe that with everything in me. I believe that God says you can die on your 90th birthday. I believe on August 28th, and that year I'll die. If I'm faithful and trust Him and believe Him. I don't think the devil can kill me until God gives authority for my soul to die. Amen. I believe that with everything in me. The Bible says appointed unto every man who wants to die. I've seen men laying and women laying on what the family presumed would be their deathbed. A couple of days later, they were back home. Why? Because their appointment hadn't came up yet. Now, I thank God for our doctors. Luke was a doctor in the Bible. I thank God for doctors and nurses and people who do these things, and they're great people. But none of them are your preacher or your family can tell you when you're going to die. None of them. They can give you the diagnosis. They can tell you what science has showed them, and that's good that we have that knowledge. But you cannot leave until the Lord calls your name. I used to look at my mother-in-law. She fought cancer for 10 years. She would go to the doctor, and the doctor would... Now see, what she didn't understand is that the doctors and the nurses would call my wife and tell her what really was going on. But when we call her Nana, when Nana would come in the house, and we'd say, well, how's it going? Oh, I'm great. I ain't got no cancer nowhere. And we knew the truth. We knew she still had cancer. We knew that she had a disease. But you know what Sharon was doing? We speak those things not as though they already were. Hallelujah. I believe that because of her faith, she had a little scripture she carried in her pocketbook. It said, believe those things that you pray for, and you shall receive them. I believe every day. And preacher every day for 9 years said, Sharon, you're going to die. She said, not today. I'm speaking life. I believe in God. She kept cancer's rear end for 9.5, 10 years by the word of God and believe God. If Satan had his way, she'd have died 9 years before she was supposed to. Now I look at it and I say, Sharon, you can't die till the Lord calls your name. I've looked at people in hospitals and said, you can't go till He calls your name. I don't care if you got cancer. I don't care if you have any kind of disease whatsoever. I care, but what I'm telling you is, whatever you're diagnosed with cannot take you out of this life. The only thing that can take you out of this life is living like a fool. And the Bible says we can shorten our days. The only other thing that can take you out of this life is God Himself. When God looks at Matt and says, Matt, it's time to come home, then I'm leaving out of here. I don't want to live 1 second longer than what He said I could live. I want to go when my time comes. Amen. I want to go. I want to leave you with some encouragement. The devil's trying to shut you down, trying to shut us down, trying to shut down our faith. I want you to understand, God is at the wheel. God is in control. God's got this thing, amen. What the devil meant for good, or meant for evil, God intended for good. What the enemy's trying to shut us up with, I believe God's going to raise the church to a level it's never been before. I believe, I told Brother Freddie yesterday, we was riding around in the dump truck, and I said, Freddie, I believe when we get together the next time in the church, I don't think nobody's going to be able to preach. Probably won't be nobody able to sing. Just the power of God is going to be so real. Because we're going to be so thirsty and so hungry. I believe that God is trying to make the church thirsty and make us hungry. See, for too long we woke up on Sunday morning and said, well, are we going to church or not? Too long we decided whether or not we was going to church. Too long we've made a decision to lay out and be lazy. Can I get this up in this place? Too many times we decided to stay home. We ought to be in the house of God, giving Him praise, honor, and glory. So you got to understand the church is a house of worship and a house of praise. We come together corporately in the house of God to give Him honor and glory. And when the Bible said 2 or 3 gathered in my name, there will I be in the midst of them. And you got 2 or 3 people who have some power. And what if you got 100 people or 200 or 1,000 people and all gathered together to worship God? That's going to be a move of God. I'll be there to sing the chord. I'll be standing and move of God. I'll be there to sing the chord. I believe when this thing is over, that your senior friends are going to be saved. You'll all know it. You'll all sell it. You'll all your dead. You're there. I believe will come out to the house of God and they're going to be saved. I believe God is bringing up to the last day harvest. I believe the last day harvest is beginning right now. But God is doing a harvest time right now. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I'm excited about what we're going through. Because I know that God is in control. I know that God means this for good. For the church. Not for everybody. Anytime we go through anything as a church, it may be painful, it may be hard. But God says, I'm doing it for your good. I believe when this thing is all said and done, that the churches who really love God, the bodies who assemble in different buildings, the building never was the church. We are the church. That's just the building the church gathers in. I believe the true church will come out of this on fire. Like we've never seen before. I believe we're getting ready to embark on the greatest revival that the church has ever seen. I believe it's going to be a common thing on Sunday evenings that pastor friends will call each other and say, man, we've seen 15 saved this morning. I believe that many preachers and many congregations will have to tear down walls and expand them out. I believe that they'll have to buy some ground and build another church. I believe there's going to be a thing take place like we have never seen before. I believe the drunks, when this thing is over, I believe some of them ain't going back to the Lord. I believe they're coming to church. I believe the young ladies ain't going back to the Lord. When they come to church, from the Kentucky Derby. Amen. Praise the Lord. Woo! We serve a great God. Amen. Did you know there's more gospel going out across this microphone than what if we was at church this morning? And we got a radio going down here now. People's recording from up in Sparta. It'll be spread out all over Facebook. It'll be spread out. We got a brother from our church, Brother Lee's recording. It's being put on YouTube when he can. And this message will be going out to a lot of people. Not only in this church, in this assembly, but millions of churches are gathered and Christians are gathered preaching the gospel anyway. It's going out across the waves of the air and people see it everywhere. There's more gospel being heard since this pandemic started than it was before. You know why? Because a lot of lost people are tuning in now. They're worried. I'm glad they're worried. Amen. I'm glad they're afraid. Amen. You want to know what? The Bible says that God saves some only by fear. I said that one time to old preacher. I just don't believe that's in the Bible. I can take the Bible and show them. The Bible said God saves some only by fear. Let me tell you what. When I got saved, I was afraid of going to hell. I don't know about you. I was afraid of where my sin was taking me. It's time to put some fear back in the pew, amen. Some fear back in the church, amen. I don't know about you. I feel like I've got closer to God in the last 4 or 5 weeks than I was before this thing happened. I tell you, God is good. He is to the power of God. Praise the Lord. I hope you're saved today. Hope you're ready to go to heaven. If you're not, we're going to have altar call right now. We'll give a time of altar call. If you're here today and you're not saved, we've got cars full of people everywhere. Some of you, I don't probably know some of you. But I'm going to ask you a question. Nobody can answer but you. Where do you stand with God? If this should be the beginning of the end, and the trumpet of God should sound, I wonder how many people will be left in your car. There's coming a day that a preacher will preach his last message. The radio waves will shut down, and the saints of God will be gone. There will be mothers who will run to the nursery because they heard a racket in the nursery, and the baby's gone. There'll be husbands who will turn open the bed. They felt a vibration in the bed. They look over and their wife is gone. There'll be women who will look over and their husband will be gone. There'll be parents who will run to the children's rooms together. And those children who got involved in church, they're not talking about kids who are old enough to get saved. And let me tell you, if they're under the age of understanding, they're going anyway. There'll be no kids in hell, don't you understand that? There will be no kids in hell. Amen. When we get to a certain age, we're required to accept the Lord as our Savior. There will be millions of people looking for their loved ones. Many people run down to the old preacher's house that they made fun of him. One of the only Christian in the family that was called a holy roller. They'll be calling on that day. But you know what, lady, you won't answer the phone that day. Some of y'all who get called holy rollers, can I get this out here? They get called holy rollers. One of these days, you'll be the most important phone number on their phone. They'll be called to say, where are you at? When there's something happen here, we can't find how we're a family. Where are you at? I'm sorry. There'll be nobody to answer the phone. Because you need us. You'll be in the Lord. And those who live that the old preacher knows the truth, that the church knew the truth, and that old granny who they follow the Holy Roller, they'll understand she knew something. There'll be 18 wheelers running over mountains with no driveway. Me and Freddie were talking about that yesterday. He said, Wolf, the Lord come back right now, this old truck full of everybody putting that. I said, no, Lord. I'm going to tell you, when he comes, it's going to be quick. There'll be massive car pile-ups. A good majority of the cars will be empty. Because the saints of God are going to leave that. It's coming. The moment after Jesus comes, the night that he comes, if he comes in the middle of the day, at noontime, That night the churches will be packed to the brim, looking for answers. But the preacher won't show up. Some of them might show up. I'm sure some of them will. And there was a lot of false doctrines out there, false preachers. I'm part of preachers because I am one. There'll be some deacons show up. There'll be a lot of people who won't show up. There'll be some people who really love God who won't show up. And slowly but surely they will realize that this thing that seems like a fairy tale is true. And they will understand that Jesus has come back to be His bride. I hope that He comes back today that you're ready. So, preacher, I hope you don't come back today. You ought to be looking for Him today. But what about my family? You better be fasting and praying for them, son. We better be sacrificing to pray family saved. There's nobody that you know, or nobody that I know that God cannot save. It's not God's will that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. Jesus died to save all men. There's a lot of false doctrine going around here now that He didn't die for everybody, that He chose out a certain group. That's a lie straight out of the pits of hell. Jesus died to draw all men. Can I get a witness? He died to draw all men. Nobody will be able to stand before God and say, I wasn't the chosen one. Let me tell you, He chose us all. And He stretched His hands out on the cross of Calvary. He chose every man who would ever be born, whoever was born and would be born. He chose to give every one of us an opportunity to come to Jesus Christ. The drug addict who's shooting up right now, Jesus chose him. The harlot laid in somebody else's bed this morning, Jesus chose her. The pimp that controls that, God chose him. The Johns that pays that, God chose him. God chose everybody, but the only thing left over is, did you choose Him? He wants you to choose Him. He created all the birds to praise Him automatically. The horse runs in the field wide open. He praises God automatically. The trees wave and they blow. The Bible says all creation declares the praise of God. All creation declares the praise of God. Everything praises Him. They gave one being a choice, and that was mankind. God could have made us all come to Him. He could have predestined all of us to Him in the form that we ain't got a choice, but God wanted somebody to choose Him because He loved Him. I hope that you chose Him. I would ask you to stand on your feet, but you have to get out of your car. Y'all come and get whatever you want to do. We're going to use it. If you're here in your car today, God's dealt with your heart, I want you to ask Him to save you. Ask Him to come into your heart right now. Just bow your head there and say, Lord, I'm a sinner. Lord, forgive me of my sin and save my soul. The Bible says, for the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. All you got to do is believe and receive. Ask, you shall receive. Knock, you shall be opened up. I'm afraid we'll do it for you. God will come right now. Lord, this congregation gathered in an odd way this morning. All those listening on the radios, wherever, those tuned in on live feed on Facebook, God, those who will hear this on YouTube or wherever it goes, God, I pray for the souls of men and women who are lost. I pray, God, that they will see during this pandemic, this is a wake-up call for the church. This is a wake-up call for the lost people. I'm praying that thousands of millions will be saved during this time. And the church will come out of a great revival like never before. I'm praying for us born in this congregation out here this morning that's unsaved. I'm praying right now, under the car, they will ask you to save them. If you're in a car with a loved one this morning, you want to get saved, look to that one that's with you, and knows God's how will be saved. All you got to do is say, Lord, forgive me my sins. I'm a sinner. You'll save your soul right now. If you do that, and you've done that, I want you to let somebody know today that you got saved, that you gave your heart to Jesus Christ. They'll go ahead and play a song or two there, and you can worship and pray as they do this. This is all about